Established in 1993 and named for 2019 Hall of Fame inductee and 8-time New Hampshire amateur champion Thomas J. Leonard Jr., the NHGA Player of the Year award recognizes excellence in playing accomplishments both inside New Hampshire and in national and regional events.
Hello everyone, we are here with the 2022 Thomas J. Leonard Jr. Player of the Year, Jim Stilley. Jim, good to see ya.
Hey Ken, it's good to see you too.
So this is your second consecutive year winning Player of the Year, and out of all of your accomplishments that you accomplished, what makes this year different from last?
Well, that was a repeat. I mean, I think that's certainly, last year wasn't expected, and then towards the end of the year when I thought it might be the case, I played in some extra things, some one-day tournaments, to try to make it happen, feeling like I'd been playing for over 20 years and never having accomplished that goal, or even really been close. I was telling somebody the other day that in 2011, when I was winner of the Am and runner-up at the stroke play, and I think I was third at the mid-Am, and I think Mike and I were like second at the 4-ball. I felt like I had the best year I possibly could have had, and I didn't even come close because everybody that year apparently did stuff in the USGA events and whatever. So coming into this year, I kind of was like, I didn't want people to feel like it was a fluke, you know? No, I didn't want to feel like it was a fluke, so I wanted to try to do it again. Now, obviously, we have so many great players in the state of New Hampshire. I didn't really think it was attainable, maybe. But then after the Am, I felt like I was in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Speaking of the Am, you went really deep this year, taking the match to 35 holes. Kind of walk us through your feelings on what it felt like to accomplish that this year.
It is it's probably the most satisfying loss I've ever had. And not because of the significance of the tournament. You know, I've obviously played in the tournament quite a few times, you know, been to the semis quite a few times, won it in 2011. But I think it was significant because of how poorly I played day one. I went back, I made 2 equipment changes, which I've never done before in the middle of a tournament. I took a driver that was my uncle's and put that in the bag. I went to golf and ski, shameless plug for Scott, but went to golf and ski and bought a driving iron, knowing that it was going to be windy the second day and that I didn't want to hit the ball in the air. I wanted to keep it low. And I just gutted it around and got in to the field. And I got there really early, right before the siren went off, and we got all that nice fun stuff. And I was putting and I was trying to figure out how to keep putts on line because the greens are so fast. And I felt like I was just, you know, I have a release in my stroke, and I was feeling like I needed to be able to get it down the line and get them on line. And I stopped looking at the ball. And it's kind of this theme for the year, I guess, is when I putted, I didn't look at the ball. I looked a couple inches in front of it, made sure the putter went over that, and then I made everything. I mean, the Friday of the Amateur, I don't care who it is, Tiger Woods could have played me, and I feel like I would have probably given him a match because I just played that good. I mean, I missed 3 fairways, 1 green, and made 1 bogey in 28 holes, you know. I remember playing against Joe Bowker in the semifinals, and he was 2 up, and then I birdied 6 of the next 9 holes, and it was over on 14. So, and then against Brandon in the finals, that was really like, that was gutty because there were a lot of different things going on around us while we played. And I got down to him multiple times, and he's a phenomenal player. I mean, Division I college player. And I just never gave in. I mean, 4 down with 9 to go. My goal was to be within 2. And then when he holed out the bunker shot on 9 to go from what I thought I'd be about 2, because if it hadn't gone in, he probably 15 feet, and I might win the hole. But now I'm down 4. But I still battled back, and realistically, if I had trusted myself on the putt on 15, I would have probably been down 1 with 3 to go.
Right.
So it was an accomplished loss, I guess I would say.
Yeah, and you talk about all of these other accomplished players, and they're arguably a little bit younger, and they seem to be getting younger every year. You know, you're in your 40s, you're probably considered an older statesman in these tournaments. What does it feel like to kind of be a mentor to those younger kids that are looking up to you and seeing your accomplishments and trying to achieve the same?
Well, I feel bad if they're looking up to me. I mean, they're all more skilled, I think, than I, and maybe that's unfair for me to say that about myself, but I think I know how to play golf. I think a lot of the kids, you know, and a lot of the younger guys, they know how to hit the ball. And they know how to go out there and play when everything's perfect. But they don't have the scar tissue. They aren't long in the tooth. They haven't been around and in those situations before. And you know, and I've talked to him about it, so I don't have any problem saying it now. But like Joe, when I beat Joe in the semifinals, Joe's 25, 26 years old, and he plays with a lot of emotion. And it's his first semifinals, and you know, he makes a putt to go 2 up on the 3rd hole and gives it a fist pump, and he's confident walking off that green. And Ryan Martello was caddying for me, looked at me, he goes, oh boy, he's in trouble. And I go, yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing right now. And then I birdied 6 in the next 9 because it just kind of refocused me. But that's like, not that was what swung it around for me, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I've been here before you have, and you don't know what you're doing. So I've had conversations like about the ebbs and flows and the emotion with him and some other players in the past. I've talked to a guy like Steck, for example, told me that he goes, you're getting really good at being you're getting beat. You're getting really good at getting beat, He said that at the Mid-Am, and I said, yeah. And we were talking about putting and things like that, and because I still look to Steck and to Phil and to Danny and those conversations about different things that they've done and experienced, and some of the things they've imparted down, I think, to me, I've been able to kind of impart down to other guys that are younger.
Absolutely. And speaking of experiences, you're no stranger to any of our competitions or to the game of golf in general. You keep coming back year after year, and you're a fierce competitor. What's your favorite part about competing in these events year after year?
Tri-Stakes. I mean, it's my friends. I mean, like, this is it's cliche maybe to say it, but it's a secondary family. They've become more of my family. I mean, Mike in Mahan is literally one of my best friends. Brett Wilson, one of my best friends. I talk every single day to those guys. Matt, I talk every single day to him. So the guys that I see on a regular basis, whether it's you guys or the guys I'm competing with and against, I keep coming back because I enjoy being around them. And I enjoy the competition. I mean, I don't think you can be successful without enjoying the competition. Right. I enjoy the nerves. I mean, I didn't enjoy feeling like I was throwing up on myself on the front 9 at Owl's Nest in the 3rd round and giving up the lead, but I enjoyed being in that spot. And then I enjoyed the back 9 trying to make up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so. It really is like a second home here. Looking ahead, looking to next season, I don't know if you're the kind to set goals. We have all of this, like you spoke to before, all of this great talent of these younger kids coming in. What are your expectations for next season and moving forward?
I have to kind of look at it over the wintertime. I can't really give you a great answer to that. That being said, I mean, I'm like, God, of course, like the Open's going back down to Brentwood, which I love the golf courses down there. I love the Keene area, so I'd like to play in that, which I didn't play this year. The New England Amateur, which I have never played and keep saying I'm going to play when it's in New Hampshire or Maine because I know all the golf courses, is at the Woodlands in Falmouth. And I love the Woodlands. I've played it a bunch of times, and I think it's a good golf course for me. So I want to play in that, but I'm like, that's the week after the Amateur. So like, I don't know. It's going to really kind of depend upon my scheduling with my kids. And I guess that will sort itself out as we kind of get more towards the spring. My goal, obviously, is to play as much as I can because I do enjoy being around everyone. And so I have to pick and choose, I think.
And talking about Hannah and Matt, your kids, how does it feel to be able to share these accomplishments with them? Matt was at the Hall of Fame, and
he certainly
got to see you, shine up on the stage. Talk to us a little bit about what it is to share this with them.
Well, I mean, they've been through a lot of stuff in the past couple of years themselves, personally in our personal life, and to see, see Matt at the dinner was, he of course wanted to be the clown and make himself well known, and Hannah was very disappointed she couldn't be there, and then she was so excited for this year because she knew that I had won again. And then when we found out there wasn't going to be a dinner, she was pretty let down. So, I said, don't worry. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I can do it again next year, Hannah. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure you will, Dad. Because now it's like old hat to her. She thinks it just happens. It's easy. But no, it's nice to be able to share with both of them because they're very special to me. And I just want them to be proud of their dad.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, Jim, we're also proud of you, and congratulations on all of your accomplishments.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
Named after the 2018 New Hampshire Golf Hall of Famer Kirk Hannafeld, the Boys Junior Player of the Year is awarded to a male junior golfer who has excelled on the NHGA Junior Tour, in NHGA events, and national and regional junior golf competitions.
All right, we're here with Sam Maurice, our Kirk Hannafeld Junior Player of the Year. Sam, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Phenomenal year again. You had a pretty solid season. If I run down this list here, first at Owl's Nest, first at the Hoodcroft Open, first at Keene, second in the Mike Ryan. Your team came in second at the junior team, and second at the junior championship. Tell us a little bit about this year. I mean, obviously full of success. Tell us a little bit about this year.
Well, the junior tour events, the single day events, they're just a lot of pars, a lot of just stress-free golf, no big mistakes, just a lot of pars as you can see on my scorecard. A couple disappointing finishes, but strong performances I feel at junior championship in the Mike Ryan. The team championship, that was always fun. Mitch won as usual. But yeah, pretty strong season overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Even the tournaments, when you look back at our schedule, the ones that you weren't coming in first or second, you were a top 5 finish every single time, which you know, is tough to do in junior golf, especially. You know, you don't see a lot of consistency with junior golfers. You know, they may go out, win a couple tournaments, and then fall back in the field. How do you stay consistent when you're playing in these tournaments?
Like I said, I just make a lot of pars. I don't make a ton of birdies. I don't make a ton of doubles. I just keep the big numbers off the card and just stay conservative and don't do anything too risky and just play solid golf.
I mean, it's paying off for you, clearly. So you're not only the boys overall junior player of the year, you're also our elite division player of the year. A title that you won last year as well. You know, this year you're obviously holding both titles, the overall junior player of the year and the elite boys player of the year. How does that feel to hold both titles this year after winning just one of them last year?
It feels good. Honestly, big honor to share that award with some of the great players that have come through junior golf in New Hampshire. And hopefully I can continue it for 2 more years that I have in junior golf.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to keep you on the junior tour for a couple more years and see what else you can improve on. You've been a junior tour kid for a while now.
Yeah.
Playing since you were even smaller than you are right now.
Yeah.
I think it's been impressive to see your improvement moving through the junior tour. Obviously, you're one of the most elite players on the junior tour and in the state. You know, just with your second place in the junior championship, you were invited to the New England Junior Am up in Vermont to represent Team New Hampshire. What have you been doing to improve your game over these last couple of years? Is it just you know, trying to find that consistency? Are you practicing more? What's doing it for you?
I just try to play as much as I can. Just practice, just chip and putt. It's the strongest part of my game, I feel. Just try and work on the short game as much as possible. Obviously, I'm not one of the longer hitters on the junior tour, but just try to keep the short game as good as it can be, and it keeps up with some of the longer hitters.
For sure. So looking towards next season, obviously you'll still be, you know, fighting through that junior tour schedule. You know, maybe take a shot at the AM. What are you looking to improve upon going into next year? What are some of your goals for next year, moving into that 2023 season?
Try and add a little more distance to my game. Yeah. Just make sure the short game is still where it needs to be. But you gotta really just practice every day to keep up with these guys. They're good.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Sam, like I said, it's been fun to watch you all year. It's been some impressive golf. You know, I want to congratulate you again on winning both of these titles, and we look forward to seeing you again next year, next spring.
Thank you.
Good job.
The New Hampshire Women's Player of the Year Award was created to honor those female golfers in New Hampshire who excel in NHGA events and also shine on a regional and national level.
Well, we are here with our 2022 NHGA Women's Player of the Year, Kat Bordeaux. Congratulations on a fantastic season.
Thank you.
So talk us through a little bit about the year. Obviously, I doubt that Player of the Year was in the back of your mind when you started out this season, but just tell us what it was like all year out there playing in these events.
Well, you're right. I didn't think anything of it really. I just tried to play. I have just retired, so I'm able to play a lot more than most. So as far as the season, Dale Nims and I started off at Beaver Meadow, and we got second. there, and then we played at the team championship, and we got first in that one in a playoff with the Sayre, the two twins.
Yep.
And just kind of, it was a good start. Good start from there.
So yeah, you mentioned the team championship with Dale. A couple other highlights. First at the senior championship, fourth at the women's mid-am, seventh at the women's state-am here at Concord Country Club. You know, if you could pick a highlight from those events, what would it be?
Probably the first round of the state-am, because I just putted well, and I think that got me going mentally from the start.
So you talk about the state-am. Obviously, you know, you're a senior, on the younger end of the senior side still, but you participated in many AMs. What's it like, you know, as a senior now, coming out and still being able to compete against the younger girls who seem to get better and younger every year?
Yes, it's hard. I mean, the second round was a lot different yardage, and that's where, you know, they're bombing it, and we're just, you know, we have woods in or, you know, hybrids in, and it makes it harder, definitely. As far as...
Is that still a thrill to you to be able to come out and compete, though?
Oh yeah,
and continue
absolutely.
To test your
That's
game?
why I love to do it. I try to do it week in and week out, just because it's something I've always just been a competitor. It's fun.
And one of the things we talk about all the time is how strong golf is in New Hampshire. For a little state, I think people underestimate the depth of talent that we have. What does it feel like to you to stand up at a senior championship and be the winner in front of the Dale Nims, the Dana Harities, the people that have accomplished so much, know that you were able to stand on top there? How does that make you feel?
I did play the senior round with Dana, and you know, she's just an icon in the state. She's one of my mentors, and she doesn't know it, but she is. So.
Well, I think you're hard pressed to find anybody who is not just beyond blown away by her resume. It is just fantastic.
Fabulous, just fabulous, and so easy to play with. We played together a couple times this summer, so that was nice. I'm just boring. I like to play boring golf. I don't try to get myself into situations where I'm, you know, doubles. You know, you get rid of the doubles, and you know, I don't think I had a great round. I had maybe, was it 78 or something, but it was good enough. I mean, just stayed competitive throughout the day.
Absolutely.
You know, I didn't take myself out of it.
So kind of getting away a little bit away from your season and talking about that, you know, talk to us a little bit about what it means to you to be part of the women's golf community in New Hampshire, and to continue to see that, or hope that segment of our golf population here continues to grow. I mean, what are some of the things that you've seen in the last, you know, decade plus for women's golf?
Well, it's interesting because I came back to New Hampshire golf after being away for, I played in 10 state AMs, and then I had left for Florida. And then I came back, and last summer I played as much as I could, and I probably played more this year, but our state golf there's such a great group of gals. I mean, the junior, you guys do a great job with the juniors, and it's just growing. The sport is, I think, is the most humbling sport there is in any sport. It'll put you in your place real quick. So
what are some of the things that you, as sort of a prominent woman in the game here, what are some of the things that you would like to see kind of going forward to continue to increase engagement and bring this really underserved portion of the golf community more into the game?
Possibly some more involvement with the guys. I think that the guys kind of have their thing and we have ours. I know that we do a few mixed. Maybe a tournament where we're competing with each other, you know, like, you know, a mixed competitive event. Maybe throw one in the mix throughout the summer and see how it goes. I think it's a good idea to involve, I probably have some haters out there, but the ladies and the men I know in Florida, they've combined, and it's a great you guys are doing a good job. I mean, it needed to happen to really grow more. So.
Great ideas, and I think the sky's the limit for what we can do. So, again, a great season, a lot of highlights to be sure. Last question we're going to ask you. You got one Player of the Year trophy under your belt. What are your expectations for the 2023 season?
Don't have any. I don't. I
that's the best
I had
way
fun.
to play the game, right?
I
With
tell
no
anybody I play with knows I just like to have fun, and if the chips fall where they may.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
a great
you.
year, a great champion, and we're very proud to call you a Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Aw, thank you.
The New Hampshire Girls Junior Player of the Year is awarded to a female junior golfer who not only excels on the NHGA Junior Tour, but also in New Hampshire events across the state, along with regional and national junior golf events.
We're here with Juliana Meegan, our 2022 Girls Junior Player of the Year. Juliana, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll go through a little bit of your success this year. First at the Mike Ryan Championship, first at the Junior Invitational, a second place finish at the Junior Championship, and then of course your first place finish at the Women's Am, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't have that many expectations going into it. I really just wanted to play like 3 solid rounds of golf that just showed how I'd developed as a player over the winter, and just put together 3 solid rounds I could be proud of.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that tournament is steeped in some history. A lot of big names have come out of there, women that have played on the LPGA Tour, played in college, had some success after winning that tournament. How does it feel to have your name up against a couple of those names that are out there on that trophy?
It's just really cool to think that I don't know, have the same title as them or accomplish the same thing, because I definitely idolize some of them a lot, and they're great people and also great golfers, and so just being on par with that is something really cool.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, a lot of strong field as well that you were up against. You know, kind of a crazy finish as well. Came right down to it. Ended up going to a playoff. Tell me a little bit about what you were thinking through that playoff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was able to kind of recollect myself through the waiting period, and generally I do pretty well at playoffs. I don't know, I can collect myself. And I went into 17 thinking just play it like you just did, you know. Remember the basics, don't try to get too fancy, because I don't know, it's hard to remember that in the moment sometimes where you get all jittery.
Yep.
I don't know, we both played the hole pretty similarly, had like safe first and second shots, and then for approach shots, my ball was further away than hers. And the flag was on a mound, and I was below the mound, so not the ideal spot. But I just walked up there knowing, you know, you just gotta make the putt or put it close so you have a tap in. And then I made it, so that was pretty nice. Took a little pressure off, and I assumed she would make hers, and she did. So we pushed it, birdie, and then 18. It's a pretty easy hole. It's short, not long. Just, you know, put a good swing on it. And we both had solid drives. We both put our approach shots to about the same spot, but I had just had that kind of putt, so I knew what it was going to do.
Yeah.
So I was able to just easy 2-putt,
Yep.
and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good finish, great finish. So, you know, with your success, obviously you come into this season every year. I'm assuming that you set some goals for yourself. Coming into the spring in 2022, what kind of goals did you set for yourself moving into the season?
I wanted to try to have a more consistent swing. I feel like I'm always needing to change my swing, and that's definitely part of golf in general. But just find a I don't know, consistent set of principles or like list of reminders that I go through my head, so that I wasn't trying to change too much mid-round or whatever, and really just tighten up putting, because that's you can have a good swing, but if you can't finish out, then it's kind of a breaker. So yeah.
How do you feel you did with those goals? You think you achieved those goals?
Pretty well, yep. I mean, the swing is always going to change, but I feel like I don't know, have a better foundation, and definitely learned more about putting and like tempo and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
No, it definitely paid off for sure. Junior golf will end at some point for you. Obviously, you're building a pretty impressive resume at the junior golf ranks. What does the future hold for you as far as golf goes?
I like to play in college.
Yeah.
Yep. Talking to a couple of coaches right now, but I'm also looking at the bigger schools, which might be harder to start on, but I'd be willing to just be a roster spot until even like next year, or sorry, like my sophomore season, and just get better and be able to compete at the collegiate level.
Yeah. Well, any coach would be lucky to have you on their team.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations on a phenomenal season. We'll see you again next year. Hopefully, we'll be sitting here again next year doing the same thing.
Thank you.
Congrats, Juliana.
Thanks.
Established in 2007, the NHGA Senior Player of the Year is awarded annually to a player 55 years of age or older who through their play has separated themselves from a crop of exceptionally strong New Hampshire senior golfers.
We are here with our 2022 Senior Player of the Year, Craig Speckowicz. Steck, good to see you. Good to have you out.
You too. Thank you.
Congrats again on a great year.
Thank you very much.
So let's get into it. You've seen a lot over the years. You've played in a lot of our events. The past two state AMs, you've had some really, really close matches with two fairly young players.
Yep.
Talk to us about what it means to you to still be able to compete at that high level and, arguably the most challenging tournament of our schedule.
Well, I would tell you that I love the competition of the game. I think that's the essence of golf for me. I just really enjoy that. And playing the young players is very gratifying, especially when you beat them. I've come out on top and I've come out on the bottom,
right.
but I still love the competition, and I still love to measure myself against some of the better players in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you're a senior now, so you're one of the older players.
I know that.
in our field. What does it mean to you to kind of be able to bridge the gap between, your generation of golfers and like the James Pleats generation and even younger?
Well, I think that's the beauty of golf, right? I mean, I've started as a youngster at 13 years old. I'm 63 years old now. But a lot of my friends in golf range from, the whole gamut. I mean, I've got the young kids that I've met. A lot of the guys that are in their 30s and 40s are my good friends in golf. So I think that's the beauty of it all. So I love the whole thing. I hope to keep going until I'm 90 and they'll be 70. But
you talk about keep going, keep playing. You had your second granddaughter was born this year.
Yeah.
How does your family dynamic is changing?
Sure.
How does that affect your game and what you see for yourself?
I mean, I'm still going to be able to play the amount of golf that I'd like to play. It's not the most important thing in my life. I still love to do it. It's my release in life, if you will. But your grandkids and your family are the most important, and certainly it is the case for me. And I'll split my time accordingly, but I'll still have time to play.
Yeah. And, as a senior competitor and someone who's played golf for arguably a good portion of their life, year after year, do you set goals for yourself coming into a new year, or what would define a successful season for you?
I don't have direct goals per se. I try to do the best that I can in everything I participate in. Some of the events obviously are better than others. I've had, great disappointments, and I've had, great moments, if you will. A successful season to me is I'd like to think that I could win an event over the course of a year. Hasn't really happened too frequently. This year I paired with Scotty to win the senior team championship, and I guess I would count that as a victory. But an individual victory somewhere is something I kind of look forward to, if you will.
Yeah, kind of going off that, you talk about winning events. There's one event in particular now that you are in your 60s that you've come in the past couple years, just to go over some stats with you. 4th place, 5th place, 4th place, 6th place, 7th, and 2 runner-ups. Where do we have to take the senior for you to finally be able to win?
You tell me. We'll have to ask Katie because she's seen me putt. I've struggled with my putter at times. I think, and not to sound arrogant, I think in some of the senior events I've underachieved a little bit, and I probably attribute that a little bit to my short game. It's just not as sharp as it used to be when I was a younger man. It's definitely hurt me, but I try to put it behind me and look forward to the next year. And hey, maybe next year's my year. Maybe it'll never happen. I don't know. Gonna keep trying though.
When you go into these events, whether it be a senior event or you like to play frequently in like the regular division for like the players, do you have a different outlook depending on what division or what event it is?
Maybe subconsciously you have this expectation that you're going to do a little bit better. Let's say, in a senior event, because this is not a criticism, but the field isn't as strong, so to speak, and your expectations of yourself may be a little bit higher in that event than you might say when you go into a mid-am or a state am, and maybe like I said, maybe I felt personally that I underachieved a little bit in some of those events, but like I said, I'll just keep trying and keep moving on, and whatever happens, happens.
Absolutely. Well, Steck, you continue to be a great advocate for the game, not only in New Hampshire but in the country, really. Being that mentor kind of for younger golfers. We're proud of all of your achievements this year, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish next year.
Thanks, Kinsey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.